Thirdly, we have Vinny. Vinny comes from Google Analytics, and he's basically the analytics lead for Asia Pacific and Japan. And he will basically talk to you about web analytics for today.
So when I was asked to come and speak, I thought great. And then I was told it's going to be 7 minutes, so I thought not so great. So I had to think about what would I talk about. There's like so much all of us could talk about, but I thought there's a great feature in Google Analytics called intelligence alerts that take you to the crux of the situation straight away. So if you only had 7 minutes to spend logging into your analytics reports, where would you go? We're trying to shift the role of the web analyst or the way of thinking from not just about creating pretty charts and reports, but really taking you towards executing on actionable insights, right? So I'm really sorry for this cheesy picture of Chuck Norris, but it's all I had at the time. So we actually want to go away from just creating reports, which takes a lot of our time, presenting them in a nice PowerPoint, but moving beyond that and saying, right, we have this data, what can we do with it? How can we improve our business with this information? So ideally, what you'd like to do is get into this testing, measurement, and optimization cycle, right? So you start by measuring, start observing the measurements, seeing like, hey, where are there the opportunities or where are we falling apart? Hypothesize different solutions to overcome these issues, test it, right? So put into place, or put into practice some of your ideas, and then keep measuring. So this is what we'd love to see ideally, but the reality is actually what happens is we get a measurement platform in place. We spend too much of our time doing the observation, too much of our time trying to navigate the reports, making sense of them. We end up doing a bit of hypothesis, and then we run out of time and we don't even get to test. So we end up falling into this trap of just having numbers for the sake of having numbers and nice charts, but not doing anything with them. So what we want to try and do is actually to shorten this observation cycle. When we observe, we're trying to find out, hey, what's changed significantly? Where should we focus our attention? Where are the trends, etc.? So traditionally, that involved downloading a lot of reports into Excel, crunching the numbers, applying some statistical models, and then trying to make some conclusions. But the problem with this was it was really time-consuming. So you'd end up completing your number crunching maybe weeks later. And we know in web terms, a week might as well be a month or a year. And by the time you actually have some ideas to execute, it's too late. The competition's moved well ahead of you. So with Google Analytics intelligence alerts, what we actually try and do is to reduce that observation cycle. We want to take everyone straight to the significant events that have happened on your website, whether it's your website, mobile site, etc. So it's really great. It's almost like having a team of real-time analysts sitting there with you, being able to tap you on the shoulder every time there's a significant change and saying, hey, look at this. Right, and so it can list out straight away what's changed in the last 24 hours or in the last week or the last month. And so instead of taking time trying to figure out what has changed, you're actually told what has changed, and then you can start going in and investigating and figuring out, hey, what happened there? So to give you a few examples of how you could use this, for example, for a search campaign, our analytics intelligence alerts tie into AdWords, for example, or can tie into other campaigns. And you can use it actually to alert you onto what's going on with your campaigns. So we've actually seen users use it to benefit their campaigns. For example, one client, they noticed a spike in bounce rates. So actually, they didn't notice it. They had no idea until their marketing manager got an email saying, hey, there's been a spike in your bounce rates. And they went, and what did they find out? Somebody had changed the messaging on the landing page. So they were advertising on lava lamps and getting onto a page on yo-yos. So there was a mismatch of the messaging. So they were able to fix that straight away instead of finding this out a month later when they're doing a campaign review. Similar examples when you're looking at shifts in geographic traffic. Suddenly you might find that somebody's blogged about your product in Israel. It's running a lot of traffic to your website. You had no idea. And so now this tells you, hey, you just got a spike because of a influential blog post, and you can take advantage of that, right? So you can ask for follow-up articles, or you could run a campaign in that market. Similarly, something changes with your conversion rates, you'll be told of that before, instead of you finding out too late. But that's not all you can do. So, right, so this tells you what's changed and what's significant in your data. But the next step is to actually go and explore why did that happen, right? So even though we call it intelligence alerts, it's not intelligent enough yet to tell you why all of this happened. So we need your intelligence there to figure that out. So the good thing is, instead of you trying to pull out these numbers, you're told, right, something's happened, and then you can go and actually investigate. So one of the easiest things you can do is to click on the Create Segment link there and start to segment your traffic by these different segment of visitors that we've identified for you. And then you could start to do that investigation. Hey, what has happened to my paid search traffic? Why has it happened? Can I compare that to my other segments of traffic to figure out what's going on here? So we can't promise you'll always find the answer, but at least you can find the areas that you know you need to put a bit more effort into in investigating. Our intelligence alerts are great out of the box, but it's looking really at a predefined list of things. But you can actually extend the intelligence alerts platform to include things that you're interested in as well. So you can actually create your own custom alerts. So if there's something you want that Google Analytics isn't giving you, you just go ahead and create an alert and say, hey, I'm interested in when a particular campaign, the conversion rate drops by X%. And you can go in and do that very easily. Why are we here? Why was I talking about this? And the reality is that we just don't have enough time to spend on our web analytics. And we really want to move away from treating analytics as something that creates nice charts for us, but really gives us a competitive edge. And the way we can do that is to take that data, figure out, hey, where are we not doing so well? Let's go and plug those holes and let's do a better job. And so with something like an intelligence alert tool or a really smart guy who's really great at Excel, you can actually end up shortening that observation cycle, shortening that, hey, what's going wrong? Spend more time hypothesizing, more time testing, and hopefully over time you improve the conversion rates and the profitability of your web properties. So start taking action. You don't need to do the splits like Chuck here. You don't need to rip jeans. But you know, if you're using Google Analytics, go in, just log into your intelligence alerts report and see what are the alerts that have been triggered in the last couple of months and explore that and see if there's something you haven't been paying attention to. Thank you.